the mornings, I am typically rushing, trying to get kids to school. And then usually I like to run my errands after I drop them off. And so I always want to do just like a quick makeup look that looks put together and nice, but it's not too heavy and it doesn't take me very long to do. So I thought today we would do kind of a fun makeup look based on just emphasizing your own beautiful features that you already have on your face. It's kind of like less is more and make it look nice, but not use a lot of products. So I really don't have a lot here in front of me, but we're just going to see what we can use to just kind of do a quick makeup look to enhance features, but still looks good and put together. I really haven't done anything with my face yet today at all. I haven't even washed it yet. So I'm just gonna show you from the very beginning what I usually do. So first I would get my clips. I'm just gonna clip back my bangs and my hair so you can see a little bit better. It's out of my face. And then when I'm really rushing during the day or in the morning, I like to just use makeup remover wipes just to kind of remove the oil on my skin because I just washed it the night before and put all my skincare on. So it's not like it's that dirty, but it does get a little bit oily throughout the night. So I can't just not do anything or I would go insane. I gotta do something. So if I'm not washing it, I don't really have time to sit and wash my face. I will just use a wipe and I just kind of wipe off the oil, especially on my forehead and my nose. It's so fun to be oily and have all the oil collect throughout the night and then you're oily again in the morning. I'm just gonna wipe all that off. One thing to remember with this too, if you're just wiping off your face, really make sure you're getting the top of your forehead in kind of the crevices of your face, your chin, and then underneath. Because sometimes we would think, just wiping off your cheeks and your forehead just a little bit, but you really want to get in there and under your eyes, because that's going to affect obviously your makeup that day. So you really want to wipe off really where that oil kind of starts to build. So once I got that done, I just want to let it cool just for a minute and kind of dry off. And then I'll do some of my skincare for the day. So what I've been using, these are kind of more expensive products, but I just kind of rotate. I use drugstore products as well. I just kind of rotate throughout, what I have. I use the Sunday Riley CEO Glow. This is just the serum. I swear this has changed my skin. It is just so good. It was just on sale for $40 and I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend that much on it, but it's so good. So I didn't repurchase. I have a whole drawer of backup everything. I'm gonna maybe use something else after this is gone, but I love this stuff. It's so good. I can just really tell a difference in how my skin looks, the texture. I just think it's really, really transformed it for me. So I try to use that every day. I might have put just a little bit too much on because now I'm kind of oily all over again. So then my moisturizer, I use this Perricone MD Face Finishing Firming Moisturizer. I got this at Costco. I think I got it in a 2-pack for way cheap. It was $25 for 2. Costco is the place to get this brand because they're always on clearance. They're always on sale. Just look on the website and then look in your store and you might find it. And it's the best moisturizer I've ever used. This is so good too. I'm actually almost out of this one, so I'm going to be using some of the other stuff I have, but this one is really good. With moisturizer, I really want to make sure I'm focusing on putting it right underneath my eye as if I was putting an eye cream on, but I'm using my moisturizer instead. I always call it the neglected neck. Don't let it be the neglected neck. Make sure you're always putting it on your neck. So at this point, I am very moisturized. I am very squishy. I want to let it dry just a little bit, but then I'll put my sunscreen on. I am loving this bubble tinted sunscreen. This is really good too if you want something that just kind of gives a little bit of color if you're just rushing in your day, but you want to put on sunscreen for sure. This is it. So this is really, really good sunscreen. I think there's just one shade. It's just the Bubble +1 Tinted Mineral Sunscreen SPF 40. So once I got all my moisturizer rubbed in, I just put this right on top and I do maybe about a half a pump to a pump. Yeah, I'll probably do a full pump. And I really like the tint on this. I think it's just really, really nice. It's definitely a good tint where you can see it on your skin and it brings a little bit of color. And that's what we want when we're just rushing and we're trying to just emphasize our own skin. We don't need anything too heavy on top. We just want something that is light, but gives a little bit of color. So that's definitely really a good sunscreen to use for that. Make sure you get your eyelids when you're doing sunscreen, and then your neck again. Hopefully this doesn't get on my white shirt. We're looking pretty good. I think the skin is looking pretty nice and moisturized. I want to just do a little bit of coverage on top of this. I did have my Physicians Formula Butter Glow drops. I'm kind of debating putting these on because that sunscreen did give me some color. So I don't know if I really need, yeah, I might skip this because I have that color from that sunscreen. I don't think think I needed any more bronze on my face, especially to match my neck. I'll skip that, but that's another really good one too. If you want even more color, definitely put that on because that brings a lot of color to your face. So we're just gonna do a simple powder. I'm gonna use the Physicians Formula powder. I typically do this just on my nose, but today I'm gonna do it all over because this is how I do just quick makeup. And this really does emphasize your own skin. This is really good powder. Sometimes I kind of get stuck in that rut of thinking it's just for my nose and like I just use it to cover my redness. I mean, it says it's an airbrushing pressed powder. I would say it's kind of a powder foundation just because of so much tint that's in it. I think it's really good for that. And this is in the shade Creamy Natural. I also have translucent and I use that one a lot on my nose just to cover the redness. But this Creamy Natural, I think it just gives such a good amount of color, but it doesn't take away from actually looking like skin and it doesn't look heavy at all. It looks like I just still have my skin. You know, I'm not like covering it with a ton of cakey powder. And I just kind of cover mainly the T-zone with this, mainly where I get the most oily. I like to use it because it does soak up that oil too, obviously, because it's the powder, but it gives some coverage and it's just light and really easy and quick. I mean, look how pretty that looks. I love this, love this, love this. So if you want to enhance just your natural skin, look like skin and not like you're wearing a ton of makeup, I would really suggest this Physicians Formula pressed powder. It's really good. For concealer, when I'm rushing in the morning, I know I want to cover a little bit of the darkness around here, but I don't want to do too much and I don't want to have to do all the dots and blending and then all the powder, everything else. So I just use something like this, just like a little concealer pot. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer, which Smashbox has now, same stuff. So you can get it through there, or e.l.f. has a really good one. There's some drugstore options as well, but I just get a little bit on my finger and I'm just gonna dab a little bit into the dark areas of my eye, not overdo it here, because if we're rushing out the door and I just want to get brightened a little bit, we don't need too much. And mainly right there on the corner is where I like to kind of start it. And then I sort of work it outward from there because I feel like I'm usually darkest, kind of right in there. I think it works well to start there and kind of blend that and then sort of blend it outward. And it just covers it pretty nice where we're brightened a little bit, but it's not taking too much away from, again, your natural eye, your features, and what we already have going on. I have seen some makeup videos where they like emphasize the darkness under their eyes, kind of embrace it. And you can totally do that too. You don't have to cover it. You can just embrace that kind of darker under eyes, which actually is kind of a trend. If you see my last video, you're actually trendy if you look tired. So watch that video, it's very interesting. I may just put a little bit on my lids, but again, just kind of blending it throughout my eye and not getting too heavy with it. And then because I am so oily, I did get just a little bit of a powder here. I just have this bareminerals translucent. This is just the mineral veil. And I like to just go over it just slightly, just to make sure we're set, because I'm so oily that it will just slip off in 5 minutes. But I just kind of want to set where I put that cream down, and we're brightened, but it's again not too heavy. And then I'm just going to do a little bit in my T-zone just because of my oil. You may not have to do this, but I'm just adding a little bit there just to make sure we're set. But again, we're staying natural. We're not getting too heavy with it. And it's just kind of soaking up the oil as I put it down, and it not even giving any color because it's white. And that looks good. So when I look in the mirror, I look like I'm put together, but I still look like I don't really have a lot of makeup on. And that's kind of what we're going for. Again, enhancing our natural features. Less is more. So now I'm going to do my brows. And what I usually do for eyebrows when I'm rushing too is I just use my brow pen. So I've talked about how you do like a pomade, and I kind of do it on the outside, and I start and I do all the shaping. When I'm rushing out the door, I just want to use my pen. I shake it up a little bit, and this just has the prongs, which my prongs are a mess. Do you want to see? It's like they're sticking out all over. Look at that. They're sticking out all over the place. It's because I put this in kind of sloppy, and I guess I'm not very careful when I put the lid on. It just like makes all the little hairs like stick out when I put it back in. So I got to get a new one. Anyway, I just want to create a little bit of hair strokes through my eyebrows just to bring those back a little bit. I'm just going to enhance my eyebrows. I do not really have eyebrow hair, so there's not a lot for me to enhance there. I kind of just have to draw them back in because they're gone. Yeah, 7th grade girls persuaded me to pluck on my eyebrows when I was in 7th grade, and they never grew back, and they've just been a mess ever since. I just wish I never did that. But I never really had great eyebrows either, even before that. They were always just like really crazy and not even pretty. Yeah. That's what happens when you're in 7th grade and you get peer pressured by crazy friends to do things. As you can see, I just added a little bit of hair-like strokes there, and it's just making me feel like I have eyebrows again, but we're not really even emphasizing a certain shape. I'm just kind of following, sorry, I just kicked the camera. I'm just kind of following my tattoo there, not really going outside of that line. And this is so quick and easy. It's just so simple to just run through that real quick, and then I got my eyebrows back. And it's just natural looking as well. I mean, as natural as I can get with fake eyebrow hairs. Sometimes I'll clean it up with a Q-tip too. I just want to go under it just a little bit to make sure I don't have any random ones sticking out. And that's all for eyebrows, so it looks good. I think those look really good put together, but not too heavy, just emphasizing those features. Next for cheeks, I'm just gonna use my Bare Minerals bronzer, and this is in Kiss of Spice, which I chose on purpose because I didn't want it too pink. So I love this one because you definitely can use it as a blush and a bronzer, and it's just a really pretty brown shade. Definitely good for fall right now. And I just have a fluffy brush, and I'm going to just kind of put it as if I would bronzer, but then bring it up just a little bit higher and into my blush zone as well. Since we're using it for both, I'm kind of just putting it where I would put both in one step. And it's really quick and easy. It's just kind of bringing color back to my cheeks. That's exactly what I want. This is such a good shade for that. I feel like it's so pretty. It's just like so natural looking, and it's just not too much. And I can even put some on my forehead because that will look really good because we're just kind of looking like we just got a little color. And I think this is really showing, especially with this step, that less is more, because I feel like just this one step makes your face look like it's glowing. It's just not too much. It's not too heavy. Look how pretty that looks. I love it. I'm just gonna build just a little bit just because this is what I do, because it's so fun. But really, like, that's all you need. And one step, we're done with that, and we got some glow and some color. So pretty. I'm gonna even put some under my chin. I always have to do this with bronzers, so even if I'm using something like this, I gotta do it. Because I just feel kind of naked without like something sculpting my jaw. And I talk about this in every single one of my videos, but I like to put it more under here as well, just like naturally where the sun would hit you. And it doesn't have to be just the cheekbones and like over here. You can do it all the way across and it looks really natural, especially when you're just using one shade, like one color and one product. I think that looks really good like that. I just noticed I have something on my I cannot wear a white shirt without spilling something on it. Who can? Can you? Tell me your trick, because it never works for me. Okay, so that's all we need for that. Look how pretty that looks. It's just glowy and it just looks natural though. And you wouldn't really think with this bronze, like brown color, how pretty that can look on the skin, because you know, it looks a little more reddish to me. Like it is truly a blush and a bronzer in one. So Kiss of Spice is a great one. I have the other ones too. I have like Kiss of Mauve, the pink one. I think Kiss of Rose. Don't sing the song. It's gonna get stuck in my head every time. Every time I say it, it's in my head. Kiss of Rose. We'll move on. We're not gonna dwell on that. It's gonna be in my head the rest of the week. Okay, so we got that on. So for eyes, what I usually do to just really quick emphasize my eyes is I use this Maybelline. This is the Nude Glow. It's just a single shadow. It's so pretty. So I just have one brush that I'm gonna just grab real quick. And the way that you apply this kind of changes the color of it. So when you put it in your crease, it deepens it just a little bit and it sort of looks a little more like rosy to me. And it definitely looks deeper when you're putting it in your crease like that. And then when we put it on the lid, it's going to shine a lot more. So this is just like a magic single eyeshadow. It's amazing. It's like $3. So I'm just sort of bringing it into the crease and just raising it just a little bit up there just to give a little bit of color because I have hooded eyes. So I gotta add it up there too. And seriously, this takes no time at all. Just hurrying and putting it on like that. And then you just get a little bit on your finger and putting it on the lid. Now you can see how like shiny and pretty that is. It really looks like two different shadows, doesn't it? But it's so simple and quick. And we're just emphasizing the eyes. So just remember, we're just emphasizing what's already there and natural and beautiful. We don't need to add a lot. I'm just gonna do a little bit underneath as well, just to add a little bit of glow right there too. And I'm really just being sloppy with it. I'm not being precise at all. Just moving it around under there. I think that looks nice. So that's all we need to do for eyes. I think that looks really good. What I like to do for eyes next is just use something like this crayon. This is the e.l.f. I think this is in Cool Beans, and it's an eyeshadow stick. I just go in between my top and my bottom lashes, and we're just going to emphasize the eye a little bit even more by lining it inside here. So if you can see, I don't know if you can even tell a difference between this eye and this eye now. I just did it that one time, but just rubbing it in between those lashes creates some sort of internal liner. It's really cool. So make sure you raise it up pretty high, put it in there. We're not rubbing it on our eyeball. We're not coloring our eyeball, but we're just running it right in between those lashes really gently. And it just sort of gives a little bit of a deeper, darker look in there. And you haven't even touched your lid at all. It's the coolest trick. So I'm gonna just do it on this side. Again, you can kind of be messy with it. Sometimes, just like I did there, I went a little bit low, which is fine. We'll clean it up. You just want to rub it right there in between. And it just creates such a pretty, like, lined eye without even trying that hard and without really noticing a distinct line. If you get some underneath here, just like I did, you can just kind of blend it. Even if you didn't, like if you get a brush, you have so much product in there that you can kind of just blend it around. And it sort of just creates like a smudgy, deeper look. I mean, you can definitely see that now. I definitely moved some of it up here, which you can do, or you can leave it like this and you don't need to touch it and it's just gonna stay in there all day. I'm gonna make mine a little more smudged and blown out and just move some of that product up there. And if you're noticing, like I didn't touch this at all with my brush. I just went right into my eye directly and just moved around what I had applied in there. And that's all you need to do. So you don't even need to pick up any with your brush in the first place. You just use what you've already applied. I think I did it in so many steps, so many times to show you that I kind of got a lot on there, but you can just see just kind of how that blends out a little bit, which I really love. And then you can just even blend it upward if you want, kind of blend it up and out. But we're just emphasizing the eye again, and it is the idea of less is more. Okay, so we're good for eyes. I'm gonna just curl my lashes, which I normally don't do, but I think for this look, I really want to emphasize the eyes once again and up, and they're pretty and nice because I'm not doing anything else with them other than a little bit of mascara. Even if you don't do any of this eye stuff, at least curl your lashes so they're looking up and you're awake. One trick for mascara, if you want to look like you're really not wearing a lot of mascara, you can just apply it right at the base of your eyelashes and you don't do very much on the very tip. And that can kind of deepen even more in there, but then you're not applying it on the tips. So it looks like it's almost like a no makeup look. It's actually a really cool trick. I honestly, for me, I want to brush it all the way through. If I'm putting it on, I want it on, you know? For those that kind of just want a little bit of a deeper line right there, but you don't want too much on the outside of your lashes, you can just slowly apply it right there at the base. And it just really deepens up your eyelashes, but then the rest look pretty natural. And it looks like almost like you don't have mascara on, you just have really pretty lashes. Does that make sense? That's a really cool trick. But if you're like me, I want it all the way through if I'm gonna apply it. Typically when I do this, I don't do the bottom lashes. I just want to do my top. Kind of sticks to that idea of just subtle makeup, right? We don't need a ton and we don't need it on the bottom lashes even. And I think it really just draws a lot of attention to the top lashes and makes them look a little more lifted and really pretty. And we're not dragging down here. So I'm gonna leave that blank and then just kind of keep working on and then just kind of notice the mascara up above. So we're actually almost done. This is a really quick video, but what I like to do to emphasize lips when I'm in a rush, this is something that I do almost every day. You can get an eyeshadow stick like this, or you can just use lip liner. And I show this in, I think, my last video, and I just like to line right here, and we're just creating a shadow underneath the lips just to make it look like it's a little bit more puffy, like a little bigger than normal. And that shadow is such a good like illusion. And I think it makes the lips look so good. And see how fast that was? If you don't even want any lip product on, just apply that and it will just emphasize your lips right there on the bottom. It's a really great trick. Again, it is less is more because that's all you're doing. You can line it up here as well. And then that even creates a little bit of shadow on the top. But really, I'm just really focusing right there. And it just makes them look a little more pouty. It just gives a little bit of that shadow there. It makes them look really good. So that's a great trick if you want to just emphasize your lips real quick. Just do a little bit of brown anything, blend it around there, and it looks really good. For lips, when I'm rushing, I want lip color. That's kind of the area of my face that I really want to make sure I have color on is my lips. And these balms are so good. So these are the Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm. I think they've changed their name since then. Since this, I think it's more like the Cushy Balm or something. It's the balms. But this one is in the shade Cranberry Crush. They always come out with like holiday packs of these too, so watch for that. But this is such a pretty color and it's a lip balm, so it's really nice and smooth. It's not gonna be like sticky, it's not gonna be matte and drying. It's so good. So I usually just put this right in the middle. It smells really good too. And it's just comfy, but it gives a little bit of that cranberry color. I think it's the perfect shade when we're going for less is more. I have this hair, I've felt this the whole time. There it is. I think it's like the perfect shade for when we're going for less being more because it is not a lot. It's not heavy at all. It's just really comfy and balmy, but it gives really pretty color. And it almost looks like my natural lips, just a little bit more enhanced. So here is the final look. This is my Is Less More makeup look. I feel like it really is. You tell me what you think. Is this good? Do you feel like this is doable for you? I feel like less really can be more when you apply it in the right way and you kind of know what steps to take. I think it looks so pretty, so nice, but it looks like so natural. Like it doesn't look like I have a lot of heavy makeup on at all. So please make sure you subscribe and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Watch for more makeup videos to come very soon and have a great day. And I'll see you in my next one.